everybody. Welcome to Kids Talk Hockey. Here we are with our third episode. Make sure to check out our other playlist that we have with 2 other episodes if you're new to this channel. And today we are joined by AHL goalie and NCAA Division I goalie, Jake Hildebrand.
Today. So my first question is, how did your career start, and how did it translate into where you are and your style of play today?
So when I was younger, I just kind of grew up playing local deck hockey. It's like basically street hockey, but organized. And then I started skating, and I signed up for a spring league where I met my goalie coach, still today, Shane Clifford. We talked, and then ever since then, it was kind of the transitioning point where you got to decide whether you want to be a goalie or a player. And I always wanted to be a goalie. I was a goalie in deck hockey as well. So that's kind of how it started. And I worked with, I call him Cliffy. I worked with him for, 20 years about now. Just kind of moving up, listen to him, what he thought, where he thought I should play, things like that. And I mean, it kind of turned out I was pretty good at goalie, so things worked out really well. And I always wanted to go to college route. It's either college or me. In kind of 16, 17, 18. So I wanted to go to college. I ended up going to Michigan State. And then I turned pro about 4 years ago. So I've played 4 years pro now.
Awesome. All right. That's like really cool.
All right. Next, I see that you've used a couple of different numbers in your career so far. If you had to pick one for next season, what number would you choose?
I want to stick with 29. I was number 30 my entire life growing up, unless I wasn't able to pick it. But 30 was kind of, I think when I was younger, it was J.S. Auband's number. I don't even know if you guys ever heard of him, but he was a Pittsburgh goalie for a little bit there, and I loved him growing up. And then I had 30 for a while until about 2 years ago. And after my one season, I kind of wanted to switch things up a little bit. And Fleury's been my favorite goalie for, probably 10, 15 years now. So Fleury was number 29, so I wanted to switch to 29, and I'm kind of happy with it now.
Nice. Wait, I'm just going to I'm guessing like from the goalies that you mentioned that you're a Penguins fan?
Yeah, I grew up about an hour north of Pittsburgh. I grew up a really big Penguins fan. I think now more so just a fan of certain players and certain goalies, but I still love cheering for the hometown team.
Nice. I also wear 30 because Henrik Lundqvist wears 30. And
yeah.
And Max wears 40 because Tuukka Rask wears 40.
Yeah, I feel like most young goalies, they pick their favorite goalie's number, the local team's goalie's number. So I think that's kind of a common theme.
Yeah. All right. So my second question is, if you could choose one NHL team to be a part of, which team would it be? And I'm assuming we know the answer, but.
Yeah, I think it would have to be Pittsburgh. I think just being around your hometown, playing for your hometown, the team you grew up watching, the team you grew up going to the games too, and being able to play in front of your family and friends all the time, I think that'd be something really special.
Awesome. Yeah.
So has there ever been a game in your career that stuck out like much more than the others?
I don't know if there's one certain game. I know I've had a few games that maybe they're a little bit more important than others, and I think they're kind of scattered throughout my career. I still think about a game I played when I was like 12 years old. Played a national championship game when I was 12. I'll never forget that one. I played a few outdoor games in college. One at Soldier Field, one at Comerica Park, both when I was at Michigan State. And then and there's a few games pro that have stuck out, but I think the biggest one that sticks out, right after I left Michigan State, the Allen Americans team I was playing for in Texas, and we made it to we actually won the championship, but I think game one of the finals series, I played and I won game one, and I'll never forget that moment either.
Awesome. Congrats also. So my third question is, since you played a couple of games in the AHL, what was it like playing with people who have like actually played in the NHL and also playing against them? And just wondering, which AHL team or teams did you play for?
I've had calls with you. I played my games with Rockford, but I've had comps with Manitoba and Providence. Honestly, it's all the same. Once you get to that professional level, the difference in players and goalies is so small, and all the time over summer, like you skate with NHL guys. I mean, you have buddies on NHL teams and things like that. So the difference is so small. It's just being able to translate your game to the next level and kind of enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go with your career right now, and where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
Well, honestly, I try to take it year by year. Obviously, I'm going on my 5th year pro now, so hopefully I can try and make it to the AHL of my next step, and kind of see where it goes from there. But I just try and take it year by year, and every summer try and work on little things in my game to develop and get better, and then I don't know, see where it takes me. I think it's kind of tough to look 5 years ahead. It's more just day by day things that you want to work on and focus on.
Cool. So my next question is, have you been staying fit over the off season, and and what do you do?
So I did Zoom workout calls for a little bit there when we were really deep into quarantine. A guy named Mike Uremko at Blue Paint Training was doing workout calls on Zoom. So it was all body weight stuff, a lot of core stuff, and hip mobility things, which is all great stuff for goalies. And then not too long ago, I bought a dumbbell set, and it's kind of like a adjustable with plates and things like that. I've been able to do a little bit more weight training. And now, just recently, Planet Fitness in Ohio opened about an hour away from where I live. So I've been driving an hour to go work out at Planet Fitness just because I kind of missed the gym and things like that. But I really haven't been able to skate, so that's been kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Max has glice, so he kind of sort of has the same thing. But I live in an apartment, so I don't have glice.
Is that the synthetic stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys have talked about that, and my buddy actually just got in the business of it, so he was talking to me about it. But I haven't been on synthetic ice in quite some time.
Yeah, my goalie coach said that synthetic ice is just gonna ruin your skates.
It does. I think it dulls your blades pretty quick, but I don't know if it'll ruin them. I think it's more just dulls them so fast you're gonna have to keep sharpening them, and then the blade goes down fast.
I just put a sock. There's a special sock that you put over your shoe, so it's doesn't hurt your skates at all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Another question I have is there are many goalies in AHL and NHL. Some of them are 6'3", 6'4". You're a little bit shorter than most, so how do you play bigger than them and come out with better stats than most of them?
I think it's all about knowing your game and what you bring to the table and doing that to the best of your ability. I'm a smaller guy. I'm only 5'11", but I think I do a really good job with my mobility, so I can beat passes on my feet and I can play a little bit further out than them because my skating is so good. And then I try to make sure no pucks go through my body. The smaller your limbs are, the smaller your holes are, so pucks can't get through as easily. So I try to make sure that. And I work on something called box control. Are you guys familiar with box control?
I've probably heard of it, but
it's cutting down in front of you, so that there's less behind you.
You tie these strings to a stick blade, and you can kind of see what the puck actually sees, the puck actually sees, as opposed to the net behind you. So if you're at the top of your crease, the puck's at the top of the circle, and for the puck to go over your glove, you only have to move your glove, say, 3 inches. But
I've heard of that. I've just never done it.
Yeah, so I worked on a lot of that, and I've become pretty good at using my shoulders and elbows to fight pucks off in tight just because I am smaller. So, I gotta call it the chicken wing whenever you bring up your elbow off. But I'm pretty good at that over the years. So that's what I try to use to separate myself.
Nice. So I have did NCAA Division I hockey get you noticed by a lot of scouts?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing the USHL and juniors. When I was growing up, I played in Pittsburgh, and then I went to Cleveland for a season. One of the goalie coaches I was familiar with was the assistant coach in Sioux City, the USHL. And when I was there in Sioux City, that's when I got my Division I scholarship. And I mean, even at that age, NHL teams are scouting for the draft and things like that. So between years playing at Michigan State, when you're playing at a Big Ten school like that, there's a lot of drafted kids, a lot of NHL scouts come to the games. So I think a combination of the two.
Oh wait, just wondering, since I know that Bobby Brink played in Sioux City, did you play with him?
Bobby Brink. I didn't play with him, no.
Oh, he went in either like the first or second round this year in the draft.
Yeah.
In the 2019 draft.
I see that you played for the Pittsburgh Hornets U16. Is that like a big step in your hockey career? And I also see that John Gibson was on the roster. Were you ever able to play with him?
Yeah, Gibson and I were teammates for a season, and we were both Pittsburgh kids with the same birth year, so we grew up playing against each other. Yeah, I think, playing AAA from when I was 12 to 16 before I went to the USHL, the travel hockey, you play so many games, and it's really important for your development. It's pretty crazy to see when you're playing local hockey and your team's really good, and then you travel all over the country and you see how good, different players and different teams are throughout the country. And even Europe, Canada, things like that. It's pretty eye-opening. So it helps, push you to work harder, get better every day.
Yeah. So like my last question is, what's the easiest shot for you to save, and what is the hardest one for you to save?
I think the easiest shot's the one in your chest, the one where the puck just hits, you don't have to do any movement. Honestly, I think the hardest shot now is the low glove, low blocker shots that are from in tight. There's like that little space right over your pad, right under your blocker or glove that, guys, the really good goal scorers find ways to put pucks there. They don't get, when you're in tight, they're not able to get as hard a shot as they want, but when they place it right there, it's really tough to make those saves. So I'd say the low glove and low blocker shots right over the pad are the hardest ones.
Yeah, for me, the easiest shots are like the ones like from far out, and like even if I'm screened, like in my opinion and like in my coach's opinions, like the best thing that like I can do is just save the first shot. Like it's just for me, like it's like easier for me to save the first shot. But like for me, the hardest shot is like when a guy's like cutting across the crease, and like you have to do that one up, one down on the post and push off, because there are like, so many moves the guy can do.
Yeah, especially when they're in tight like that with time and space, it is tough.
Yeah,
my last question is: was there ever like a big jump from like PB to bantam or bantam to midget or junior that you had to make, and how did you deal with that?
I think the biggest jump was from midgets to juniors. You go from midgets, where I was 16, playing against, mostly 16 and 17-year-olds. There's a few 18-year-olds as well. But you go to the USHL and you play against NHL draft picks and 20-year-old kids, and everybody can shoot the puck hard. And I don't know, there's 4,000 people in the stands. It's just a complete change from going from midgets to juniors. And in juniors, it's, you have your game day routine where you have to be at the rink two hours before every game, and you have your meetings and things like that. In midgets, it's more of you show up an hour before, an hour and a half before, and you have like certain team meetings, but it's not as organized like juniors was. So I think going from midgets to juniors was the hardest thing for me. And I was able to go for the second half of my 16 year, and I was more of a backup. I think I only played 4 games in 2 months. And then the following year, I was also a backup. My 17 year, I think I only played 20 games. And then my third year in the USHL is when I played 44 games or over 40 games. And then I played in playoffs as well. And I think that's kind of, going from 20 games to 44 games is when I really took that next step as a goalie to become a starter and get ready to go play college hockey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is just a question that like I made up like right now. What's it like playing in like outdoor games and like actual stadiums?
It's really different. The game's still the same, but it's kind of got a different feel to it. You have like your certain routines that you do before every game, and sometimes you can't really do them if it's you're in the arena outdoors, so you don't have certain things that you'd like to have around. And then just whether it's snow, the weather, sometimes it's too warm, sometimes it's really sunny, so there's a glare. You really don't know what the weather conditions are going to be like, so you're kind of just, I don't know, hoping for the best. But I mean, we played once where a pipe broke. The ice was really soft on one part, barely skate there, so it's kind of just dealing with it. It's fun, exciting. To be able to play outdoors is something special.
Yeah, I've played outdoors, but they're like just small stadiums, like clubs.
Yeah.
Like one of the stadiums just had like a chain fence for instead of plexiglass. And,
Okay. Yeah.
And the puck just bounced in like crazy ways whenever they would hit it off the chain.
It's weird, but I mean it's fun though.
Yeah, it's nice experience. Yeah. Hey Max, do you have like any other questions?
Oh, I had one more. What advice do you have for like a goalie playing at like a younger like level, like house league or D to like the next level, like AAA?
I think honestly, just working as hard as you can and doing things that others don't want to do, like think weight room, making sure you're, if you do have a goalie coach, trying to go there as much as possible and work with your goalie coach and get better. And I mean, I think that's important for development. Just trusting the process, and everybody's got different potential. Just finding out what your potential is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm in contact with like some of my teammates, and like just some of them just don't like working out and stuff. And I mean, like today, I started this like thing that I'm probably gonna do every time I'm in town, where I'm just like I just run around like the entire town, and like the town's like 1 square mile, so it's like I did that today. It was like 4 square miles. It was fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, especially like during a pandemic, it's like so empty, like and like where like you're expecting the streets to be like packed.
Yeah, seriously. But I mean, it's good you're working out and working hard.
Yeah. Uh, um. So just another question is like what's like the difference like what style like what was the difference in your style that you used between the junior and pro?
I don't think anything really changed in my style. You always add a few things to your game. Whenever the RBH came out when I was in college, I remember adding RBH to my game and things like that. But you don't really change your style. I mean, I know they call it like a hybrid or butterfly goalie and things like that. I mean, nobody really stands up anymore nowadays. So my style hasn't changed too much, but I think just tweaking little things has been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. All right. Max, do you have any questions?
He answered all mine.
All right. Thank you so much. Like
Yeah.
this has been awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, no problem. Thank you. All right, all right, bye.
Yeah.